Did y'all hear that? I've never heard it do that before. Well, thank you, Zoom, for letting me know. Okay, so we have a lot to get through, and of course, never enough time. I feel like we could sit here for hours and hours on end, not because we have to, but because we get to. So if you're new to the Power Hour, here's what we do. We like to start off in such a way that you feel inspired to go and work. So it's kind of the idea of you work inspired and not tired. Another thing that we like to do is give specific tasks to work through. If that doesn't fit what you need to get done for your business, then just do your thing. Like do whatever you need to get done. But what I want you to know is this, is that you're with like-minded people. And what I mean by like-minded is this, that we are willing to risk it all to dream big. And we are willing to not just have it happen because we're lucky and it's a lottery ticket, but we're willing to work. And by work, this is the best part. We don't have to get dirt in our fingernails. We don't have to sweat. Ours is more of the emotional work. It is the connection work. It is the relationship work. It's the building our minds work. And that to me is thrilling because no matter how you sway it, you're going to end up better than you were before. That's the fun part about this. Just like if you were doing physical labor, you'd end up stronger physically. This, you end up stronger emotionally and you end up with a skill set. So I'm going to just start off. We're going to talk a little bit about gratitude. And so I think I see a couple gals that were on the retreat that I went to this weekend. And a couple weeks ago, Alita Langford asked me if I would share at her retreat. And I knew immediately, without any hesitation, that I wanted to talk about gratitude, which, if I'm being completely honest, anytime I hear someone say they're going to talk about gratitude, I'm like, I'm just like, not my thing. I'm like, I get it. We have to be thankful. Okay, I'll write down 5 things I'm grateful for. But yet I never did it. Like I literally never did it. I'm like, I know I am grateful. Okay. Like I am grateful, but I didn't truly understand the topic. So if you were there, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for saying the story all over again. But if you weren't there, it was brand new to you. And then I want you to think about this for yourselves. So one of the things about gratitude that kept me from wanting to commit to it as a daily activity was that I felt like it was it was a given. Of course, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I have a house. I'm grateful that I have a husband that loves me. I'm grateful that I have children. Well, it turns out, you know why it's easy to say that gratitude is easy? It's because when things are going all right, what do you have to complain about? Last year, when there was this huge wave of momentum, what did you have to complain about in Plexus? Of course, you're grateful. Yeah, I'm grateful. But then when things aren't that way, I always think of it as being a fair weathered friend. What's the first thing that we do? It's like we become the worst type of backstabber in our life. Everything's great. We're glory hands, praise be. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful, my life. And then when things hit the fan, which is going to happen, then it's like, I'm going to blame you. I'm going to blame that. I'm going to blame this. I'm going to blame her. I'm going to blame him. It's the blame game. So I'm sharing all this because I have teenagers. And so no one warned me that that was going to be way worse than an episiotomy. Like this is legit the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Okay. Because you're looking at this person who's taller than you, who has like the brain cells that have been put in like pause mode, like they cannot critically think and they just say whatever they want to say. And you as an adult are meant to be mature and not lash out. Like this is some hard stuff, y'all. This is really difficult. And then you add in your business if things happen, which they will. Pineapple, lemongrass sold out. That's not fair. Like I get it. Those are real feelings. But sometimes we let disappointment become what we sit with and let it get on us and press us down instead of just going, I'm really disappointed by that. And then you think about it. I really hate that happened. And then you say, okay, I had that feeling. We're good now. Let's move on. Because otherwise it becomes this crushing experience. So I want to talk to you a little bit about things to do for gratitude. So when you look at your business and you open up your virtual office, it may be that you don't see hardly any names in there at all. And that is a hard thing because you think, nobody wants to listen to me. Nobody says yes to me. This other gal took the person I was talking to. And so when you open your virtual office, it evokes really bad emotions, which evokes really bad hormone surges in you. So what you start to end up doing is you don't want to log into your virtual office because all it does is make you mad. Or you may log into your virtual office and see someone made a return. Or you may log in and see that person that orders 97 PV, and you literally have this thought, I wish you wouldn't order at all. I wish you wouldn't order at all, which really what you're saying is, I wish you wouldn't take any of our products and feel better because you just aren't helping me at all. And these are all really devastating ways of thinking. And I'm not saying it because I want you guys to be happy Pollyannas. I don't want that for any of you. I don't want you walking around being fake and not sharing how you feel and just got to be happy. I'm going to have to push through it because that's what I have to do. I don't want that for you. What I want for you is I want freedom and I want peace and I want joy for each of you in your life. And the truth is, people that practice true gratitude, that live in that space, are healthier. They live longer. They don't age as fast. People that don't practice this and they live in a place of pessimism and overwhelm, they tend to have really bad health issues. They really do. They don't have as long of a life. That shows on their face, even in the shading of their skin and in the wrinkles around their eyes. People that live in that way are unhealthy people. And I don't want you to be that way. I want you guys to be happy and I want you to have whole, full lives. So, are you going to run into problems? 100%. You're going to run into problems. You're going to have someone be mean to you on a post. You're going to have a neighbor get mad that your dog is barking and get frustrated with you. This has happened to me. I'm using real life examples. You're going to have your daughter look at you and say, are you going to wear that? Yeah, and she's 12. You're going to have all of these problems in your life. And problems are life well lived. It's a sign that you're actually living your life. You cannot avoid this. In fact, small dreams equal small problems. Big dreams equal big problems. Okay. So you're going to run into problems. If you're like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this, or I don't know if this is God's will for me because I'm having problems. It's like, hello. It means you're doing it right if you have problems. The problem is when you have a problem, most of us let the disappointment crush us and we just stop and we do not move forward. So what I want you to get in the practice of is fighting for gratitude. I want you to actually visually think of this in your mind. So someone on your team gets mad at you, or someone blames you because they didn't get to silver, or you write a post and nobody says anything at all about it, or you're frustrated about pineapple, lemongrass, or fill in the blank. Something like that happens. Or personal life, spouse, children, financial, any of those disappointments. They're going to come. And when they do, I want you to learn, as if you pulled up a chair next to you, I want you to learn to let that disappointment sit next to you for a minute, just like you're sitting there having coffee and you're looking at the disappointment and you're like, really, really upset that happened. Like that actually seriously bothers me. And you're looking at the disappointment. You're having a conversation with it, but then you're going to ask it to leave. It's like you had your meeting because nobody here is Pollyanna. And then you're like, okay, I had that conversation, but guess what? You will honestly be the death of me. Like you will actually kill me, disappointment. And I'm not going to do that. So, okay, I felt that feeling and now I'm going to fight for gratitude. So I'm putting on the boxing gloves and I'm going to literally say, thank you that I have Plexus. Thank you that it came into my life. Thank you for the friendships that I've made. Thank you for the power hour I get on. Thank you for the fact that I have a product I look forward to having each day. I don't remember having that in the past. Whatever it takes for you to go through and have the gratitude. And I don't think you're going to say it like, thank you for the products and thank you so much for the friendships. I picture you literally going, thank you for the friends I've made. Thank you for the fact that Plexus came into my life. You're literally just fighting with every ounce of your being. But the reason you do it is because it brings back joy. It brings back strength. And that is the only way you can work this business. You cannot work it disappointed. You cannot work it defeated. It just won't work. It won't. And so I want you to get into the ring. I want you to get into the ring every day, all day. I don't think you'll ever escape this. I want you to fight like you're Mike Tyson. I want you to fight so hard. And that way you can live in a place of peace and you can live in a place of realism. Realism is okay. Pessimism is not okay. You're going to have problems, and you get to choose, are the problems going to make you bitter? Are they going to make you better? Are the problems going to make you stuck? Are they going to make you stronger? You get to choose this. You might have a problem today on your power hour. You might send a message and get a really ugly response. Not your problem. It's not. You didn't choose for what they were going to say. And the truth is, and this is the first task we're going to go into, I listened to a Jewel panel, and it was so neat because the first girl that shared, she did her Jewel panel, and she said, well, they told me I had to message people I know about Plexus. And so I said, okay, she's probably the most coachable person I've ever seen. And she's very black and white. They said, message people about Plexus. And she was like, okay, I will. And so she started in the A's on her Facebook. She literally started in the A's. And she said, I went to every person in the A's and I went and commented on one of their posts and then sent them a message about it. I waited a few days and I went back and I messaged them and said, have you seen any of these posts I've been making about Plexus? Here's the funny part about all this. Sitting next to her, 4 gals. They were her jewels, and their last names started with A and B. Meaning that who she had reached out to, she said, I don't think I made it past E. She goes, but it didn't matter because I ended up getting who I needed, A through E. And that to me was so telling that she was willing to do those reach outs, and she was willing to do it in a way that created authenticity because it wasn't a direct cold message. She reconnected with them. One of her jewels, she played 7th grade basketball with, and they hadn't spoken since, and they're in their mid 30s. Okay. This is key. And this is what we're going to do. And it's going to be awkward, but you're going to go through. I'm sure you have plenty of A's to work through for the next 15, 20 minutes. We're going to go through and we're going to go to our A's. We're going to go and comment on their post and message them about it. If there's no post that's recent, you have to just hold up on that one. Like you can't go and say, I loved your post from 2018, because then they're going to get a restraining order against you. Okay. So go through and comment and message and say that post was hilarious. Or I don't know why I didn't see this a week ago, but this is the funniest thing ever. Or I'm so sorry to hear what happened. I just wanted you to know I was thinking about you. And that way, and make sure you have good notes that you know who you reached out to, because then we're going to be able to circle back and have a conversation with them later. So we're going to work through just like my Sapphire Amber Rosny did. She did her A through E's. We're going to just start with our A's and get as far as we can. Here we go. Okay, so I'm seeing people ask how they find. Yeah, it only works on your phone. I'm sorry, guys, I didn't say that. When you go to your friends list, it'll say see all friends, and I click on it, it's already alphabetized them for me. If you're on your computer, it's not going to do that, which isn't the end of the world. If you just want to work through the friends that they've populated for you, just keep good notes so you know who you've talked to. Yeah, I see it. And let me see if there's anything else I need to say. Okay, I'm going to go back to messaging people. Okay. I did it about 15 to 20 people. It's amazing how many people don't have current posts, which makes me think that they're on Instagram. And I don't know, does anyone have a way to find the friends they have on Facebook easily on Instagram? Is there any like thing that suggests friends? Does anyone know anything about that? Nobody does. Okay, I'll make a note to go and look that up.
I think the only thing that I can think of is maybe like if you know their name, just search for it in Instagram, but that's all I can think of.
Okay. Because you know how on Facebook it suggests friends for you? I wish that it did that on Instagram so that I could find them whenever someone gets tells me.
I have a suggestions list on Instagram that pops up.
Huh. Where is that? Like when you go in.
Usually it's like when I'm scrolling through, it'll have like it kind of like goes across like Facebook does. It'll have like individual people going across.
Hmm. Okay. I'll put that a little note so I can remember that for later to look that up. Okay. So I'm going to challenge you guys to, and maybe many of you already do this. And if you do, great. If you don't, this is really important. I want you guys every single day, and even if you're a silver, even if you literally don't have anyone on your team, I want you to either have a planner that you put this into or just go to your calendar in your phone every day. Record your PV, how many points you have, how many new joins you have, and how many success sprint credits you have. Why do you do this? One, go back to the fight for gratitude. If you're sitting here going, my points have gone back and do da diddy, and then you realize that last year on this day, you were 40 points below what you are right now, wouldn't that give you a little perspective? You're like, you know what? Actually, I'm doing way better than I was last year. That's a big deal. Or let's say December comes and you're like, oh, the sky's falling, my business is over. And then you go back and look that every December of all time, you've always taken a dip because people are buying presents for their children. Okay. Like perspective, it helps you. Also, I don't want you guys walking as entrepreneurs blind. Like you shouldn't just be like, I wonder where I'm going to end up this month. You actually own your own business. Now, I'm terrible with Excel and I'm not that great with numbers, but I'm doing what I can to at least show some ownership. So get a planner or put it in on your phone in your calendar. So make sure you're doing that every single day. If you're avoiding your virtual office, avoidance is a sign of fear. If you're avoiding it, I want you to say, why am I avoiding this? If you have a call to make and you don't want to do it, why am I avoiding this? You're going down the rabbit hole to find the reason. And then again, put on the boxing gloves because avoidance is keeping you from greatness. And you don't want that. Like you're trying to do the opposite of that. So don't avoid. I avoid exercise. So there's that problem. Okay. So make sure you're writing that down. Okay, here's what we're going to focus on now. Tuesday plans. Tomorrow is so busy. And because I'm awesome, I've completely planned a virtual sip and see at 7 when at 6 central we have the big company announcement. So that'll be interesting. And then we're doing a meeting after the meeting at 8 to kind of recap everything and give you guys some tips and plans and giveaways and all of that so that you really understand what this announcement is. So the first thing I want you to do, this is the link. If you haven't registered, go register right now. And then I want you to go to every single person that said yes to you, even the people that are just buying a product, because guess what? You cannot leave people out. Assume the best. Go to them and say, I would never want to leave you out. So I'm just inviting you. If you want to hear what this big announcement is, and to be honest, I have no idea what it is, I wouldn't want you to miss it and it'd be fun and we can be excited about it afterwards together. You're needing to invite everyone. So that's the first thing you're going to do right now is register and invite. Okay, so if you're not in the Power Hour chat and you want to be added, you need to ask someone on here to do it. Don't ask me because I'm not reliable. I'll say I'll do it and then I won't because I'll forget. So ask someone in here to put you in that because that's where we put the graphics that you may need. It's really hard to, I don't think I even know how to put a graphic in the chat here. So last thing, every Monday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central, we do these Power Hours. For June, my vision is to have each of you take, not each, because all of you couldn't have 10 minutes, but I'd love to have people sharing on a topic that they could just share on without having to go into like emotional distress. It's just like in them. Like, I'm really good at training on, mindset, or I'm really good at training on time management, something like that. And literally 5 to 8 minutes just getting on and being like, hi, my name is so-and-so. And this is something that I feel like you guys need to hear because I'm passionate about it. And you share. I want you guys to get out of your comfort zone. If you get really dry in your mouth and your lip gets stuck on your teeth, that means you're doing the right thing. Like you're getting out of your comfort zone. Has this happened to anybody before? Like you're so nervous, your face like goes white and your teeth get like, and your hands are shaking and you're like sweating so bad under your boobs. Nobody? Is this just me? Okay. That is a good thing to do. I failed high school health because they made me present a newspaper article every Friday, just one Friday a week. And I'd have to read it and comment on it. I never did it. I would get up and go to the bathroom and wait until that part of the class was over before I'd come back in because I was terrified to speak in front of people. You only get better at something when you do it, and then you keep doing it and it becomes a skill. Okay. Last thing that I was going to read to you. We have that virtual sip and see tomorrow night, Tuesday night. So we'll see how that goes. I have no idea how to make all that work, but if you've invited people, you have to get on. So I'm really sorry about that it might overlap with some of the announcement, but you can go back and rewatch it. Plus we have our meeting after the meeting. So this virtual sip and sees at 7, and I put the graphic, or I'm putting it now into the chat, that you'll need to give to the people that you invited so that way they have the Zoom ID. So I just put that in the chat. So the last thing I'm going to do is at this retreat we were at, one of the emeralds, her name's Brittany Raup, and she shared about time management, and I wrote down some notes because they were so good. So I'm going to share some of that with you. If you want to take notes on it, great. If you just want to watch the recording later, that's fine too, to get them. But this was so helpful for me because I would say this is my weakest area. Raise your hand if time management is your weakest area. Okay, it looks like a lot of people. It's rough, and it becomes laziness because what we do is we put all the important things off because we want to make sure we do it right. We want to make sure we really give it the right time and the right preparation. And it turns out we never do. Like, I know myself well enough now. If I say, okay, I'll do that, I'll never do it. So I have to say, let me do that right now. So that's a big thing for me. Okay, so I'm just going to read you a couple of the things she said before we start wrapping up. But I really do need you guys to be thinking about a topic you would be good at sharing at. I really do want you to reach out to me and say, I think I could do this, even if it means you're scared. Even if you get hives and splotchy and your voice is shaking and you cry, I still think you need to do it. It's such a good thing for you to experience. All right, time management. She said, number 1, set clear goals, because procrastination and perfection are motivation problems. Done is better than perfect. And I was like, oh, that's so good. Done is better than perfect. I'm going to set a clear goal. Okay. So my goal is I want the calendar for June with all of your names that are going to speak ready to go before June starts. Okay. So that's my clear goal. And I'm not going to wait for it. I'm going to make it happen. So whatever yours is, you're going to make an Instagram post. You're going to create an Instagram account. Set that clear goal and do not put it off. Done is better than perfect. You don't have to have the perfect picture. You could change it later. Number 2, whatever it is that you're working towards, determine the 5 main moves that would get you there. Whether it's like your posting, your photographs that you need, some of the wording that you might need to have, a power partner that you might want, or the information you need to research, whatever your 5 main moves are, messaging, a VIP event, whatever you're doing. And she said, what are the things that would help you leap towards your goal? Those are your 5 main moves, whether it's making a bold post, a message, an event. And you should be spending 60% of your time on those 5 main moves, which is really funny because I'll spend 60% of my time like doing other things that actually will not help me reach that goal. But it technically could fit into the work category, but it's more like not actually doing anything. Get organized, whether you use an app or a planner, and do not use the excuse I'm a hot mess as a way to get out of it. And then she said this, and I want a t-shirt that says it. She said, skill up. Skill up. If you're like, I'm terrible at organization, I'm terrible at planners, I never use it, or I lose it, or I spill my coffee on it, skill up. And I was like, ouch, that's hard because I like having that excuse. It's not in my personality. It's not my Enneagram or whatever. There's no part about that with Enneagram, but skill up. I'm almost done. I know I'm talking a lot. Sorry. Carve out 1 to 2 hours on the weekend for your next week. Social media, your new reach outs, your follow up with current team and customers, who you're going to taproot. That is all for 2 hours on Sunday. She said, I plan my entire week. And she said, I live and die by this planner. And every day when I get up, I see what it tells me I'm supposed to do. I wrote down, these are the people I'm going to follow up with. These are the people I'm going to taproot. If you don't know what taprooting is actually looking in your organization. If they're not your level ones, maybe they're their 2s, 3s, 4s, can go all the way down to 7. I've even taprooted like 10s and 11s and 12s. These are people that either I could tell they have a customer because their PV is high, or maybe they're ordering a lot of product. They've added 1 or 2 people. And I want to make sure that, especially if I know the people in between us are not working, do they have a product schedule? Or I want to meet them? If they love Plexus, I probably would really like them. And so I just want to introduce myself to them and just say hi and let them know they have endless amounts of support. Taprooting is so important for your business. Spend time for time management on personal growth. Think about what you're going to listen to. Like, I want this podcast to be completed by the end of this week, and just pick the podcast. So that way you know what you're doing for your personal growth. Write down your PV and points every day. Get into a routine in the morning, have an actual morning routine. And I've committed this week, I have this bad problem, and maybe you have it too. I roll over and I grab my phone and I immediately get on it. Can you think of a less life-giving thing to do to yourself? Like, I can't think of something less life-giving than jumping. It's literally like if you were sleeping and you immediately sat up and put on your headset to work customer service for Verizon Wireless. Like, can you even imagine? Like, you would jump up and be like, Verizon Wireless, how can I help you? That's what I'm doing. I'm immediately opening my phone and answering messages. That is so bad for the soul. So I've committed this week to actually spend time in the Word every morning. We're going to see what God does with that. I might end up being like very happy and healthy, balanced person. All right. Number 8, keep the promises you make to yourself. Teach your brain that when you say you're going to do something, that you're actually going to do it. I mean, how many of you have said, I'm going to lose 10 pounds? I see Brandy's on here. She killed it in why can't I think of the name of it? The Renew You Challenge. That was incredible. Don't say, I'm going to lose 10 pounds, or I'm going to cut out sugar, or I'm going to follow up with 2 people a day, or I'm going to make 5 posts a week. But knowing full well you're not going to do it. You've taught your brain that you say all sorts of garbage, like just fluff. Like, there she goes again. She's going to blow up a hot air balloon with her own breath. Like, just making stuff up that isn't going to happen. And your brain's like, man, she's a great storyteller. You got to actually do what you say you're going to do. And finally, she said, mindset without putting it into action is useless. So you can listen to mindset all day long. You could have Carolyn Leaf like on replay. And if you do nothing with it, you've just wasted all of your time. So actually do something with it. I thought that was good. I'll copy and paste that and put it in the chat too, if it helps you. And that was Brittany Raup. I'll put her name. Okay, so I will see you guys Wednesday. Tiffany Weaver's going to lead the Power Hour. But again, I know you know who you are. You're going to message me as soon as we end this, and you're going to say, I'm scared. I might have to wear Depends, but I'm going to train for 5 minutes on one of the June Power Hours, or I'm going to share my story, or I'm going to do a workout routine for you all to watch for 10 minutes. You're going to do something. You know who you are. I see your faces and you're scared, and you know I'm looking right at you. So send me a message. I'm going to end this, and it's going to happen. And I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. Okay, it looks like you guys are having fun in the chat, but I don't see any questions.
Jennifer, I
Yes.
can't see the chat. I can't get it to pull up because I'm on my iPad
Okay.
and not my computer. And then we just had a roofer here and I had to leave, so I missed the whole dang thing, and I'm really upset about that. But question.
Yeah.
Last time that I was in a power hour, you had said that there was a chat thread or a group or something for the power hours,
Mhm.
and I would like to get in that.
Okay. Is anybody friends with her? Is it Tamitha?
You're friends with me?
Oh, of course I am. Hold on a second. Remember what I
I
told
think
you guys?
so. I think,
got it.
or maybe I'm following you. I thought we were friends though.
Well, let's see if we're friends, because I only can add you if you're my friend.
Okay.
Here we go. This is about to happen. Nobody else unmute themselves and ask me to do this because I'll be here all day. Okay, is your last name McIntyre?
Yes.
Done, did it. Okay. If
Yay.
anybody
Thank
else
you.
wants in, find somebody that you're friends with and have them add. Okay, and then someone's asking, is the sip and see tonight? That graphic I put into the chat, it says tonight, don't miss our virtual sip and see. That is for you to send the person that you've sent the samples to. You're going to send it to them tomorrow. I wanted to make sure you had it. We're giving you all these reasons to keep having touch. If you gave them everything, you sent them the sample, you gave them the Zoom ID, you told them everything in one message, why do you have to follow up with them? They're like, I get it. Like, I know it's in my calendar. Don't forget, I'll see you in 30 minutes. Like, don't do that. You have to have reasons to follow up. So that's for you to send to your people. All right. I'm getting off. I've talked too much. I'll see you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.